Hi, this is Titus Welliver. You're listening to TV Confidential.
Roberts with a reminder that we will play part 2 of our conversation with film and television icon David Frankham beginning at the top of the hour. Among other things, David will share a few memories of working alongside Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. and William Reynolds on the FBI, plus he'll talk about working with comic legends Jack Benny and Ernie Kovacs. David Frankham will join us beginning at the top of the hour. You'll have to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, and speaking of Ernie Kovacs, for our listeners in Southern California, the Grammy Museum will be celebrating the re-release of the Grammy-nominated Ernie Kovacs record album from 1977 with a star-studded evening on Wednesday, August 28th, featuring comedians, entertainers, musicians, and writers, all of whom will discuss the influence that Ernie had on their respective careers. Panelists will include comedian Dave Foley, versatile performer, entertainer, and Magnuson, and our friend Josh Mills. Josh Mills, director of the estates of Ernie Kovacs and Edie Adams. The panel discussion will be moderated by noted journalist, author, and raconteur Pat Thomas, and will also include clips of Ernie's audio and visual work throughout the evening. All of this will take place Wednesday, August 28th at the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles, beginning at 7:30 p.m. For tickets and more information, go to GrammyMuseum.org, GrammyMuseum.org. If you cannot make the event on Wednesday, August 28th, the Ernie Kovacs album from 1977 has been re-released along with 6 bonus tracks from our friends at Omnivore Records. The Ernie Kovacs album, Centennial Edition, now available on CD and as a digital release wherever music is sold. And speaking of Grammys, Greg Ehrbar is back with us for another look at recently released DVD titles that we think you'll find of interest. Greg Ehrbar, 2-time Grammy-nominated, multiple Addy Award-winning writer for television, animation, and advertising for Disney, Warner Brothers, and Universal. You can enjoy Greg's animation spin column twice a month at cartoonresearch.com. For more on Greg, GregEhrbar.com. We have one more title as we continue Hanna-Barbera, the Prime Time edition. Now, this is a show I remember fondly. It was a summer show. I think it aired in the summer of 1970 or 71. It aired Wednesday nights on CBS. Where's Huddles?
Where's Huddles?
There's a family down the street. The Huddles, the McCoys are right next door.
It's true. And this is like Roman Holidays. The cast is singing this theme.
Yeah. It's,
not well.
No, but you look, when you're 6 years old, it puts you in the mood for the... And I remember this because it was a summer show, so we can actually stay up and watch this.
There's only 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And they timed it so it would run from, I think, the Glenn Campbell shows going off for the summer and coming back.
Back in the day when we had summer replacement shows.
Right.
I guess we kind of have summer replacement shows today, but that's a whole other conversation. But as you say, back in the 60s and 70s, shows such, particularly variety shows, but some scripted shows would be retired from the schedule during the summer, and then you would have original limited series. Today we would call them limited series that would air during the summer, and that is what we have here with Where's Huddles. Now, I'm looking at the DVD package. Huddles looks like Walter Matthau.
Yes, and I think that was intentional.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that's any secret. I don't know why, but he is a definite caricature of Walter Matthau, but his voice is by Cliff Norton.
Yeah.
And Cliff Norton sounds nothing like Walter Matthau. Yeah. He's an excellent voice actor. And it's real nice for Cliff Norton to get a lead because he tended to be the guy who was in the bar with Darren or something. Yeah. The clients of Darren's.
Yeah, one of those character actor type of guys.
In early game shows, he was a panelist a lot. He was an all-around terrific character actor, but as a cartoon voice actor, never the lead. So this was kind of interesting.
Kind of like Alan Melvin.
Yeah, McGilly Gorilla was pretty much his only real lead in a series. He may have had a few
Well, he
smaller.
was the lead of H.R. Puff and Stuff, the movie.
The motion picture, yes. Thank you.
And he sang.
Well, but that probably wasn't him.
I was going to say he didn't sing particularly well, but he sang.
That was probably Pavarotti.
Okay. All right, so we have Huddles, who is drawn to look like Walter Matthau, but he's voiced by Cliff Norton. Now, his sidekick,
Bubba.
Bubba. Okay, now Bubba kind of looks like he's drawn to look like is the character either on Car 54 or Bilko. The Maurice
Gosfield, yeah.
Okay, he kind of
the Doberman or a Curly Joe kind of thing.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a Maurice Gosfield character, but he's voiced by Mel Blanc.
Yeah, and it's not a Barney voice. It's sort of Mel Blanc's voice with a touch of silliness, but it's almost like the earlier Barney.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And it's an odd fit for Mel Blanc. And it's also odd because it's not the Flintstones, and yet Mel Blanc is playing the best friend. It's a very oddly cast cartoon.
And before we forget, it's called Where's Huddles because Bubba and Huddles are professional football players.
That's correct.
So we're following is the adventures of a professional football team and their home life.
Yes, and their wacky hijinks. These storylines are not child-centered. It is a primetime type.
Yes, it is catered for adults.
Yeah, there's an episode where Ed Huddles thinks that Bubba is going to have a baby. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
So that's not the sort of thing they would have done on Saturday morning. I mean, it isn't highly sophisticated, but it's a little more adult than they would have done on Saturday morning.
Now, I forgot about this. Dick Enberg, who we lost about a year ago. Dick Enberg was also a regular on the show.
Yeah, he was the sports announcer.
He was a sports announcer.
And then you had Marge Huddles,
voice of Jean Vander
Pyl, doing Wilma.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's clearly Wilma, a little less nasal Wilma, a more of a natural speaking voice Wilma. And then what's very, very interesting is Penny, who is Bubba's wife, is voiced by Marie Wilson. And that's not necessarily... Do you know who Marie Wilson is?
My Friend Irma.
Yes! My Friend Irma, who didn't do a whole lot.
I used to do a thing in the Bay Area called Dr. Rerun. So
thank you.
I used to know this. I know this stuff.
You should know this stuff.
I do.
You're very good at what you do, Ed.
Yes.
Marie Wilson... Well, she didn't do a ton of stuff, so it's interesting to see her pop up in this, and she's playing an Irma kind of dizzy character, and she sounds exactly the same as she sounded. My Friend Irma, to those who may not know...
My Friend Irma.
Yeah.
This is where it comes from.
It was an extremely popular radio sitcom about two roommates, one who was Jane the Very Practical. It was like Laverne and Shirley, kinda, except that they were, in those days, husband hunting, and Jane worked for an executive who always ignored her, and Irma was sort of ditzy, and her boyfriend was this kind of shifty character. And that's where the expression that you might hear in cartoons, "Hello, Joe?" He was always calling his friend because he could make some kind of a shifty deal. My Friend Irma was made into actually two movies, and they both co-starred Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. And that's what made them stars of movies. So that's the whole connection there. So Marie Wilson is on this, and that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. And Paul Lynde, who was doing a number of Hanna-Barbera cartoons at the time, he did It's the Wolf, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he was Mildew Wolf.
He did It's the Wolf. He was the villain in Penelope Pitstop.
Yes.
I'll get you, Penelope Pitstop.
Yes, he was Sylvester Sneakley, who, unknown to her, is really the Hooded Claw. Help!
That's a terrible Paul Lynde impression.
Well, on this, he plays...
he plays their neighbor.
Claude Pertwee.
Yes.
Who is perpetually irritated by them and is connected to virtually everyone in business and politics and everywhere. He has a cousin who does everything.
Yeah.
There's a Pertwee for every solution, but he's of the nature that he's not going to help you unless there's something in it for him.
Yes.
He's a conniver. And he doesn't like them, and he doesn't like what they do. And the catchphrase, I guess, that was going to come out of this was that he called them savages.
And again, looking at the back cover, Pertwee does not look a thing like Paul Lynde, so I suspect he was not cast. What they would do today is if they know Paul Lynde is going to be the voice, they will sort of sketch the character to look like Paul Lynde, much like Rankin Bass did with their specials.
That's true. It doesn't really resemble him. It's its own character. But then Sylvester Sneakley and Hooded Claw didn't look like him either.
Yes.
And that's also a merchandising issue, because
true.
then their likeness, though I can't explain why Huddles, again, looks like Walter Matthau,
yeah.
But it is a merchandising issue in that you do owe the actor something if the character does look like them, because infamously Rex Harrison's face on Dr. Dolittle, everything had to be approved by him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the famous Columbo Milton Bradley game, where Columbo's face is facing the other direction, because Peter Falk would have had to approve the face.
I didn't know there was a Columbo game.
Well, if you Google the Columbo board game by Milton Bradley, you'll notice that he's standing there with his raincoat and a cigar, but he's looking the other way.
Well, and see, you learn things here on TV Confidential, and particularly Greg Ehrbar segment.
I got it for Christmas, so, I didn't know what that meant, why he wasn't looking that way back then.
It meant he didn't like you.
He was distracted.
He was distracted.
When the painter took the picture.
All right, so that's, and we mentioned Savages is the catchphrase on the top of the back cover.
That's the headline.
It is, of Where's Huddle, the complete series, which is now available as part of the Hanna-Barbera Classic Collection, available on DVD through our friends at Warner Archive.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
We had a touchdown.
We threw
a pass.
Okay, as we line up for the extra point, Greg Ehrbar, 2-time Grammy-nominated, multiple Addy Award-winning writer for television, animation, advertising, publishing for Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal. You can read Greg's animation spin twice a month at cartoonresearch.com. For more on Greg, gregehrbar.com. Greg, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks very much.
Greg will stay with us as we welcome back David Frankum during hour number 2 of TV Confidential. Stay with us.
If you haven't been listening to TV Confidential, this is who you're missing.
Michelle Nichols, Adrienne Barbeau,
Leonard Maltin,
Joyce Bulifant,
Peter Onorati,
Judy Norton,
Robert Wagner, Robert Hooks,
Lee Purcell, Julie Bass, Rhonda Shear, Michelle Lee, Jacqueline Smith,
Lou Antonio, Shirley Jones,
and many, many more of your favorite celebrities and people behind the scenes in the world of television. That's TV Confidential, every week on this station and every day online at televisionconfidential.com.
Become a TV Confidential confidant and receive unlimited access to the last 5 years of TV Confidential, plus other members-only content. To find out more, go to televisionconfidential.com and click Become a Confidant. Enter the coupon code CONFIDENTIAL when you sign up, and you'll receive $5 off your first month's membership. For more information, go to televisionconfidential.com and click Become a Confidant.
You can listen to this show all over again as a podcast on iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, and wherever podcasts are found. Best of all, it's free. To subscribe to the TV Confidential podcast, go to the homepage at televisionconfidential.com and click Subscribe Now.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Alexa users, you can now listen to TV Confidential on your smart speaker by just saying, Alexa, play TV Confidential. Enabling our Alexa skill is easy. To find out how, go to televisionconfidential.com/Alexa.
Become an advertiser or underwriter of TV Confidential and let our brand help promote your brand. To find out more, go to televisionconfidential.com/advertise.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty Group, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay Area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.